you. Liberty Law's experienced attorneys are committed to the pursuit of justice for those injured. Call Liberty Law Group and find out how we can help get you the compensation you deserve. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. 877-42-LIBERTY. Liberty Law Group. Trial attorneys you can trust.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club and space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about margarita clubs and old-fashioned clubs? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of Upside margaritas or old-fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with taco night on Mondays or whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
93.7 The Ticket is your home for every Kansas City Royals baseball game. Bobby Witt Jr., Salvador Perez, Vinny Pasquantino, and the rest of the Royals attempt to make the postseason for the second season in a row. And you can hear all the action on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Your home for Kansas City Royals baseball.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait. Apply now.
Early break.
Get run over, something's going to happen. But as you got closer to him, you saw he was wearing a big smile. And I thought, he's got this totally under control. my whole opinion changed of the situation. It did. I thought, there's this crazy guy out in the middle of the road. He's got to get this figured out. And then when I saw his smile, I was like, oh no, he's got everything figured out. He's got it all figured out. I mean,
with Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen, and Bill Bush from 6 to 9 every weekday morning on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Nebraska Football Hall of Famer.
Blitz is on. Taylor picks it up. Fires. Touchdown, Nebraska.
Canadian Football League Grey Cup champion.
Taylor again, wide open.
And first-team All-American quarterback Steve Taylor.
5 for Steve Taylor. That is a new Nebraska record.
Live from the heart of Lincoln, America, former All-American quarterback Steve Taylor.
Yes, it is Wednesday. That means it's time for weekly. Wait, it is not Wednesday. You're right. Oh, man, I was thrown off by this.
It's Tuesday.
You're right.
So
it's Tuesday, but it's still time for weekly rap session.
You guys are throwing me some curveballs, but being a left-handed home run hitter and batter that I am, I'm taking it to the other side of the field.
Absolutely. So we got a treat
there.
here, a little weekly rap sessions with All-American quarterback Steve Taylor here on a Tuesday. It threw me off. It's throwing everybody off. We don't know what day it is, but it is Adam Carricker's birthday, so he's celebrating that. So shout out to Adam Carricker, and allows us to talk to Steve DP in the building as well, ready to talk throughout this next hour. Steve, how's your week been as we get to catch up here? 6 days, usually 7 days since I've seen you.
I know. So my week has been wild. It's been absolutely wild. Are you a big fan of social media?
I mean, I've grown up with it. I wouldn't consider myself a big fan, but I definitely like keeping up with the news and all that. Okay. Yeah, absolutely.
No, first of all, I love spring, right? I love spring. I mean, May is opening season of golf, right? So I'm just, and the weather is going to be outstanding this week, right? So first of all, we can't take down our Easter wreath because we have these finches or birds that have built a great nest on our wreath on my front door.
Okay.
So I've been watching it and filming it, the entire time, and they now have hatched. And the other day, my wife opened the door and she just went berserk because the mama bird flew inside the house.
Uh-oh.
Right? So we got 2 dogs. We got birds flying around the house, and we're trying not to kill the hatchlings, which I had to look up what birds are called, right? They're not chickens, they're hatchlings. So I've been videotaping and filming these birds, grow and hatch and feed, and that's been cool. It's been cool, right? And of course, I gotta go to Fresno, California this week for a funeral. My cousin died.
Oh, that's
so we have cardinals all around our house, and we think of my dad, my Lincoln dad who passed away, and my cousin who passed away last year. We've had 3 deaths for 3 years, right? So I just love spring, right? And so then to top that off, my daughter, who's 26, by the way,
was recruited on Instagram to be on a show. So she's been texting me and having me fill out this application to be interviewed to go on this show. And first of all, you want to see if it's a scam or if it's for real, right? It's been kind of exciting, right? So, and I've entertained this kind of stuff before. So they recruited her to be on the show to be married. Right?
Okay.
But the parents have to approve the guy. It's a 5-week process. You have to be gone 5 weeks, and you have to be able to work remotely for 5 weeks. And they take you to some obscure place somewhere. And it's a show. She's a contestant.
Yeah.
And you go on excursions with the guy. You go on excursions with the guy's parents, and then the parents decide if this is a good fit for the daughter. And then, of course, they go to the altar and they say yes or no. So we've been going through this process, and I was strongly kind of entertaining it to do it for my daughter, right? To find a match for her if that's what she wants. Although she kind of has a pseudo boyfriend, right? So anyways, so we've been going through this. My wife she was definitely out because she said she's not going anywhere for 5 weeks. So I'm like, well, we shouldn't even go through the whole process. Anyway, it was just kind of
Is it done then? It's done. Your wife says no, and it's over.
I mean, like, why go through because
you're married. You understand how this works.
Like,
you act
this
like
is a big opportunity, though. It's just
like he doesn't know how this works.
Like my end game was like I will pretty much do anything I can for my daughters for anyone to fulfill their dreams, right?
Right.
And so I was not a definite no. I was like, if it can work out, if we can swing it, and if you're serious about this, first of all, she's not gonna let me choose the guy. I said, if you're not gonna let me choose the guy, then I'm not doing the show, because that's what the show is all about. If we find a match for you and you're at the altar, we found a match, you have to say yes. You can't say no. She goes, well, no, Dad. I'm gonna say no. I said, no, you can't. I'm not going through 5 weeks of this stuff and we find the right guy and then you say no. There's no point. There's no point in doing the show. So am I the bad guy here? Because I'm looking like the bad guy.
Well, you have to.
We're gonna talk football too.
But you have to see forest for trees.
Oh,
that culturally different pockets of different eras of time and different pockets of the planet. Sometimes that wasn't even discussed. Sometimes Steve would have been able to pick a husband for your daughter, and she didn't have a say so at all.
Dude, right now, DP, I'm all for arranged marriages.
Right. Like we forget that. Listen, to remind your daughter, there's a time she's lucky you didn't just say, "Hey, give me 5 horses," and this is a deal.
Yeah.
But I would also think from the perspective that most fathers won't think any guy is good enough for his daughter. I think that's a natural that, like, I haven't met a dude who was worthy of my daughter.
I agree with you 100% because I told my daughter's boyfriends or whatever that you're on trial the whole time. I'm never going to be like approved.
The only reason I married Becky, the path for it working was that her dad was on board. Her mom and dad were on board. My mom and my stepdad were on board. Like my stepdad was like, he looked at Becky, he was like, "Yep, that's a one." My mom was like, "Yep, you have full permission."
Cool.
Her dad, Navy captain, mom teacher. Yep, let's this will work. Otherwise, no.
Yeah. It was really a scary thing because I called the one of the marketing. They have 3 or 4 different connections. They have a recruiter who actually spotted Skylar on Instagram, from pictures and it's
Does she have like a big following, or how did you get discovered?
I don't know, man. She maybe have a few thousand.
Yeah.
I don't know, right? For the common person, more so. She's an attractive girl. She's smart and everything, and she does what she does. We've gone viral a few times on TikTok, so there.
Okay.
She does have a following, and she's into social media, but she's a young, attractive, bright girl and available, I guess. So anyway, I didn't know this. They have.
Does her boyfriend know she's available?
She told me yesterday. She said that I said he's a boyfriend. She says no, Dad. He's like I don't know. I try to stay out of it. But that's what I told her. I said, well, you can't go on this show. First of all, Skylar, if you have a boyfriend. She goes,
well, that's never stopped anybody else from being on a show.
I know. I guess you're right? So I don't know how they vet these people because, first of all, I was a little concerned. I wanted to see if it was real.
Yeah.
Right? Because she gets stuff all the time. And we all get stuff on social media and text. We don't know if it's fake news or not.
Yeah.
Because actually one time I thought about going on the show when they swap wives. I did think about it. I don't know if I ever told you this.
Wow,
right?
I'm so not surprised by that. This may have to go on to Steve. This may have to go on to Steve Taylor after dark conversation.
Yeah.
This is not lunchtime.
I used to watch that. I thought it would kind of neat to kind of live a different life, right?
Yeah.
And to see. So anyway, I did apply. I didn't make it past it. I didn't make it past.
No, that's because Stephanie wrote a letter. She wrote a letter. I'm always amazed.
I know, man. I'm corny with some stuff.
Well, no, but at the like, reality TV has done a thing.
Yeah.
Where it makes everybody feel like it's an opportunity. This is their chance for 15 minutes fame.
Yeah.
And good or bad, right? That they would rather go on a show, do poorly at it, be the villain, be the bad guy, or be the controversial one because it gives them relevancy, right?
Yeah.
Yes, Paul Heyman likes to say the island of misfits and irrelevancy, but it's a thing, and it becomes it's now a thing with podcasts that people would rather do a bad podcast and be heard and villainized for it than not being heard at all.
You're right. I mean, it's interesting because my daughter was saying this could be like my coming out dad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm like, what are you talking about? Mm-hmm. Right? She's like, well, yeah, this could start her career. She has that type of personality. She probably would do well on Big Brother or some type of reality show.
I would put you on Survivor.
I don't know. My wife doesn't think. See, here's the thing. I'm not a good liar. If that makes any sense. Like it's a game, but I have a hard time not telling the truth.
But that's why you would be. That's
Right.
why they would want you on the show.
But I wouldn't last very long, though, DP.
Well, but that doesn't mean it's not good TV.
It's gotta be entertaining.
You
Yeah.
know, but
right.
there's certain pockets of the country that are really that. So I knew when we were in Utah that every reality show wanted somebody from Utah, California, Texas, New York, Florida. If you covered those 5 pockets of the country, and Nebraska falls in that pocket with Utah. That's a thing. Now, I don't know if there's a show. So I know friends who run those shows.
Yes.
And I've been offered those shows. But I have zero interest in, first of all, going on an island and being eaten alive by bugs and losing. It's a great way to go and lose 30 pounds.
That's why we're going to is to lose weight. That would be my primary goal. Would be to lose weight.
20 years ago, I would have done it. At age 40, I would have done it. Now I have zero desire to go and be the old man that, sits in the corner and kind of half competes and just oversees. But former athletes tend to do well on these shows. The Great Race, that's another one that I could see y'all doing. But I'm not sure. I want to go back to ask the text line if there's any mom or dad out there who thinks they would want their son or daughter to go on a dating show on TV.
Right? Like, yeah, I would be interested because I was like, well, I met my wife in college. And it's the conventional way.
Yeah.
There are all type of dating sites, and it's harder for people to meet. I don't know, right? Because I'm not of that day and age. But that's how people meet each other. They DM you, they do this, they do that.
It's different now.
It's different now.
It's
and I'm
different
like,
now.
and so when I was talking with the lady who was, Kendra was her name, to fill out the application. And I was like, well, how do you vet these people? She goes, well, here's the deal. Like, there's an application which there was no criminal history. They didn't ask me any criminal questions. Have you ever been convicted of a crime or nothing like that, right? Now, I don't know what they asked the contestants, like my daughter and the guy, right? But as a parent, they never asked me. And then she said, well, once the show is you find a match for your daughter, then they do their thing at the altar. If they say yes, they go to some remote place in the U.S. or internationally and have to live together for 4 weeks. 4 weeks. I was like, well, wait a minute now. Like, yeah, I'm like,
they have there's love at first sight, right? There's all sorts of those.
There's some temptation.
Temptation.
This particular,
Like now, mind you, I am a huge fan of bad dating shows.
So you watch those?
Listen. I will just get popcorn and tea.
It's entertainment. It really is entertainment.
Laugh at how bad people are at dating now. We actually look. I'm old school. I had to call a landline to get a date, bro.
Yeah.
Like I had to call the kitchen phone and talk to mom and dad.
Yeah,
and have something to say. Like there were no apps and no cell phones and there were no dating apps, bro. You had to go. You had to have game.
Yeah,
like you had to actually go where people were, right? You couldn't hide, right? Because this this is before cell phones, right? So there's a thing, and there was some substance to it. I'm not sure I would do well in this space, so I'm firmly okay. I'm absolutely okay with just watching and going, y'all are wild.
See, I
y'all are wild, man.
I was intrigued just because I'm all about experiences and just trying new things, So I was just kind of intrigued. But I do my due diligence, and if I do it, I'm going to have a purpose. My purpose will be to really try to find a legitimate, spouse for my daughter, right? I get it. Right? I would make that effort and try that and make some sacrifices. And
well, here's the question though. Let me set Steve up. How many of your daughter's boyfriends have you met?
I've met them all. I don't know about.
Right? That if you've
I pretty much have met them all. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
How many of them, what percentage of them were worthy?
Oh God.
And Bach,
right now, there's two right now, which I do like. Ty Webster and I have become.
Don't do that to that man.
I like Ty.
You putting Ty on Front Street.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You just Ty in his car. He just drove left.
No. It's just I'm an open book. That's why I have a problem. I cannot not tell the truth. And I like Ty, but like you said, no father is going to find a guy worthy of his daughter.
So
but. I like Ty, and I'm actually.
What about Stephanie? Does she have?
Stephanie's like Ty from day one. Stephanie's like a lot of my daughter's boyfriends.
So she's gonna be.
But you have to realize, DP, she doesn't have any boys.
Oh,
we have all girls.
See, then you're getting. So
there's another aspect of that.
Yeah, you're getting into the psychiatry of dads.
Yeah.
So there are different kinds of dads. And Bach, this is the deal, right? That Maria is gonna have a different take on your son's dating life than you do. She's gonna look at it. We look at the men and go, hey, I recognize you. You remind me of so and so, and if that so and so is good or bad, that's the lane you're in. We can't help it. I'm glad you didn't end up on the show, because then I would have to take you off of it.
Yeah, you probably would. I was kind of intrigued of how it would actually be, what I would be, it was curious. But I do like, and
can you imagine, Steve?
And I've actually liked.
Can you imagine that?
So what would your role have been then? Just on TV? What would your on television?
We're the parents. We interview the contestants.
So kind of like episode 1, we
go on excursions with them, and we do things with the contestant and also the parents to see if it's a fit. And then we decide, they have to decide if their son, if my daughter Skylar would have been a good fit for their son, and then I have to decide if their son would be a good fit for Skylar. And then if we both agree, then they go to the altar, and then that's when he asks the question, and she gives the answer.
This is what I see the Taylor family version of this is Wedding Crashers, the football scene. The football scene. And Steve's got him out there running. Hey, skinny post. Run a skinny post. And if he doesn't know what it is, and then Steve hits him right on mark and he drops it, you're out of here. You're out of here.
I tell you what, it would be good TV.
Yeah.
It would be because our families, and we have a lot of different dynamics. Like I can't believe the stuff that my daughter does on TikTok and it goes viral just because things that I would say or do naturally that I just do or say, and that's what it does, right? So
That's
You know,
funny.
yeah, anyway, we're going to talk. We're going to talk
That's
football,
fun-
but
that is funny. That is funny to me. I can see. Look, as a dad, I'm going to ask questions.
Yeah.
You know.
How do you know, right? How do you know? And,
Are you a baller?
Yeah.
Because as a coach, I've seen every kind of dude, and you know. Oh, you're.
And it's Bakir. When you have daughters, it's different. I don't know anything else. I don't have boys. Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
We weren't gonna have boys.
Yeah.
That's
I think
the
that
universe
happens.
has a plan.
I think the man upstairs. You're 100% correct.
No, there's a story.
I don't think my kids can't stand me, dude.
The guys that I played softball with. So when I got out of college, it's all the guys that I played high school ball with, and we formed this athletic club that played, softball, flag football, basketball, etc. And of the 18, the first 24 babies that we had were all girls.
Oh my goodness.
Like we were
ridiculous.
we were laughing because we were like, oh man, because we were the ones at the club, right?
Yeah.
And this is the universe going, oh, remember? I got you. Yeah, well done. So yeah, let's take a break. Let's talk some ball.
Yeah.
All right. We'll take a quick break here. This is Weekly Rap Sessions with All-American quarterback Steve Taylor. We'll be back after this.
Are you a fan of local wine, craft beer, cider, or spirits? Don't miss SIP Nebraska's 12th anniversary celebration, May 9th and 10th at Mahoney State Park, and join others who share your passion for great drinks. Enjoy unlimited tastings, live music, delicious food, artisans, and lawn games as you celebrate Nebraska's vibrant beverage industry. And when you find one you love, you can buy a bottle to take home. Choose your ticket package at sipnebraska.com. The SIP Nebraska Spring Festival, a Blur event, May 9th and 10th at Mahoney State Park in Ashland.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
The end of the school year is drawing near, which means graduation parties are coming soon. Are you prepared for hosting? Führer's Cheese Spread is the dip that brings everyone together to celebrate graduations and the close to a great school year. And it goes well with crackers, meats, soups, and more. How could you consider throwing a party without it? Get to your local grocery store today and load up on Führer's Cheese Spread. No graduation party is complete without it.
Hey, what are you talking about over there?
Huh?
I said, what are you talking about?
You know, Bill, I think it's time for both of us to get our hearing checked. We should head over to Christensen Hearing Analytics.
Oh, yeah, I've heard about them. They offer a free hearing consultation and screening, affordable hearing aid prices, and a knowledgeable staff with over 30 years of experience.
Visit Christensen Hearing Analytics today in Williamsburg Village or give them a call at 402-489-3450. Christensen Hearing Analytics. A better life starts with better hearing.
John Henry's has a brand new membership club to protect your entire home in one program. With a VIP and a deluxe option, we will help you find the plan that best fits your needs. Receive discounts on services and equipment, priority service, complimentary inspections, and so much more. Protect your home's plumbing, heating, cooling, and electrical systems all in one membership. Call John Henry's to learn more.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
And electrical.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Have you been injured in an accident and don't know where to turn? You need an attorney you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you've been injured, we want to help you. Liberty Law's experienced attorneys are committed to the pursuit of justice for those injured. Call Liberty Law Group and find out how we can help get you the compensation you deserve. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. 877-42-LIBERTY. Liberty Law Group. Trial attorneys you can trust.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills Global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
At Planet Fitness, we're declaring it. This is the year of getting stronger, and you can get started now by saving when you join today. We have all the best in-class equipment you could ever need, and you can work out your way on your time at any convenient location near you. Most open 24 hours. So let's do this. Join Planet Fitness today and save. Just $1 down, $15 a month.
Find your nearest club and join today. Deal ends Friday, May 16th.
See Home Club for details.
Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road, just south of 14th and Highway 2.
Now back to weekly rap sessions with All-American quarterback Steve Taylor on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We are back here on weekly rap sessions with All-American quarterback Steve Taylor. Don't check your calendar. It is Tuesday. It is not Wednesday. Threw me off a little bit, too, at the beginning of the show. You can tell. But I'm Jake Bachman in studio with the All-American quarterback himself, Steve Taylor, and the boss man, DP. It's been an interesting day so far as we've learned.
We've thrown a few audibles.
Yeah,
we have to go with it. It's funny. I was golfing the other day, and I had this reputation of guys, why are you always changing the game? Why are you always adding these things? I'm like, I don't change the game. I said, you have to understand, you're golfing with a quarterback. I say, when we call a play in the huddle, we have literally between 5 to 10 things that can happen from the play that we call. I said, so my mind thinks I'm always trying to optimize our success and have the best game. And so, you have to call audibles. Yeah. You have to be able to adjust. And go with it.
If this, then that.
Yeah.
If not this, then that.
Like, it's not Wednesday, it's Taco Tuesday. My wife threw a wrench yesterday when she said, it's Cinco de Mayo.
That's right.
So she cooked up these fabulous dishes. And I'm easy. I can go with that. Hot route. Hot route. So anyway, so that's what we're doing. And I love it. I love it. So.
You were saying you were a little bit interested, too, in the Cleveland Browns quarterback room. We did at least we know now the jersey. A lot of people were wondering what jersey Shedeur Sanders will wear.
What is he wearing?
He's going to wear number 12. Dylan Gabriel, the new jerseys for the rookies, not all that important, but other ones of note in that group. Dylan Gabriel in that quarterback room going to wear number 5.
Okay, that's close. That's close.
Quinshon Judkins at 10 and Mason Graham at 94. But more importantly, is that quarterback room is do you believe that Shedeur Sanders will start a game this year? There's a lot of people feel like Joe Flacco will win the job.
Here's where I go from this. And I was it's a position I would not want to be in. It's not a recipe for success. I believe that, right? And this kind of happened to me a little bit, but not quite. And it turned out okay. I don't think it's a recipe for success. I'm all for competition and everything, but this situation is weird. That quarterback room is going to be weird. It's going to be awkward. Go ahead.
You've been in. Okay. I'm old. And as NFL cycles and football cycles, college football, high school football, NFL as cycles.
Yeah.
Nothing that can happen this year in sports is new. Everything that can happen has happened before.
Yes. I alluded to that.
I grew up in an era where, and I'm a Washington fan. So you had a Hall of Fame quarterback in Sonny Jurgensen, Billy Kilmer, who was brought in by George Allen, a new coach, who had started with the Saints and the Rams, and now is going to, then so much so that the battle was that in DC, everybody had a I love Sonny or I love Billy sticker on the back of their car. And then a thing happened where Joe Theismann was drafted by the Miami Dolphins. But they weren't sure because they had Earl Morrall and Bob Greasy. Right? And Theismann was of note. I mean, he had just gone through the Theismann for Heisman campaign at Notre Dame. It was a big deal. Don Strock was in the building. the quarterback room is always a weird room.
It is, but it isn't though.
Like Theismann chose to go to Toronto, was then traded to Washington. So Sonny Jurgensen, Billy Kilmer, and by the way, Sam Weiss, the former Bengals coach, was the third quarterback in the room. And then here comes Joe Theismann.
Yeah.
It's always weird. It's always weird. I was in Carolina when they had the expansion team. They drafted, you get expansion quarterbacks. You think that Berline's going to be QB1. You draft Kerry Collins as a 1. You have to go through and make decisions. The Pittsburgh Steelers, you had Terry Hanratty from Notre Dame. You draft Terry Bradshaw. You also get Joe Gilliam as a free agent. Joe Gilliam comes in and is the best quarterback, beats out your 1 and 2 to become the Steelers starting quarterback. Yeah. The quarterback room is always a weird room.
I agree with you with that. It is what I was saying that in the end is not the best recipe for success. I get what you're saying 100%. And I say this, and I thought about this, right? Because when I was signed with the Edmonton Eskimos, I was their number 1 pick. And of course, I was so wrapped up in my world and what I was doing. I wasn't on their radar that they would bring in another quarterback. Wasn't even on my radar, right? I had a press conference, bonus baby, blah, blah, blah. I'm the guy, the media, name, everything, right? What you're saying. And then they sign a guy from University of Hawaii, Warren Jones, who's actually a pretty good quarterback. Mm-hmm. And I didn't know this until I got to camp. Mm-hmm. I didn't know this, right? Same year, played and everything. But I was the guy, but he was a good quarterback. He was going to challenge me, and he did challenge me, right? And then you had Tracy Ham, who was the starter at the start of the year, who was a proven guy, but could emerge to be the guy. Anyway, it worked out okay, but it was uncomfortable. It was really uncomfortable because guys like me, some guys like Warren, you get reputations, what's going to happen, trade rumors. Then the starting quarterback has a great year. Then they re-sign him to the big contract like you have in Deshaun Watson, who has a big contract, who is there, right? So I'm thinking right now, if I'm Dylan, right, and you're the Shadir's going to come in there with a swag. He's going to think already like he's the best quarterback, which rightfully so. He can think that way. I don't know how Dylan's going to think. He's playing it really under the radar right now, though he's like not commenting, just going. But it's uncomfortable. So who gets the snaps? How do you divvy up the snaps? And the media hasn't even got started yet, right? So I'm just saying it's not a recipe, I think, to be successful. Most teams, and you saw the kind of the same play out with Pittsburgh Steelers. I did go back and say, well, I remember when Steve Walsh was drafted in the supplemental round when Troy Aikman was the number 1 pick, right? I mean, what was going to happen there, right? There's natural competition, but you knew Troy should be the franchise guy, but you got a legitimate guy that could be worthy, that could do something, right? So I'm just saying it's not an ideal situation that I would want to walk into.
Why would here's the
why
thing.
would I would want to walk into?
Coaches never want young quarterbacks to be comfortable walking in a camp. That's why there's always a veteran in the room.
Yeah.
That's why there's always a veteran in the room. If you screw this up, I got a veteran that can get me through. Right? Yeah. If I had to play a game today, do I have a guy that I feel comfortable with playing? But here's the other side of it.
And see, and this was self-inflicted. And I go back, even when you go back with Brooke Behringer and Tommy Frazier, it was not self-inflicted. Right? I say because Tommy had the injuries.
Well, but it's you have to have a plan B.
Yes.
But here's the thing. I'll ask this about the Cleveland Browns. When have the Cleveland Browns ever done the quarterback room right?
That's the scary part. Yeah, I think that's the scary part.
That's what I'm saying. It's not a recipe for success. They have not done a good job, which is
we have to go back to Bernie Kosar.
That's the last time they had really stability.
Coming out of the University of Miami.
Yes.
And still not being sure because you let your quarterback wear number 20.
Yeah.
So, okay, you really didn't have – you brought a Miami kid to Cleveland, and it worked for as long as it worked, but they aren't good at drafting quarterbacks, evaluating quarterbacks. Otherwise, the same thing could be said for the New Orleans Saints, right? They didn't draft Drew Brees.
Yeah, that's true.
They didn't draft him.
Yeah.
Like what are we talking about? We're talking about there's certain organizations that have proven historically they do not, and they even in their evolution, different people making the draft picks, they're just not good. They're Oakland Raiders. The Raiders aren't good at drafting quarterbacks. Man, you go all the way back to the when they fell in love with BYU quarterbacks. Then they fell in love with Houston quarterbacks. And then they didn't do it well. They still don't do it well.
Yeah. What's interesting is I'm kind of putting myself in Dylan's shoes. And I don't know if I'm Dylan right now, I would say to my agent, you know what, how can we navigate through these waters? Because I don't want to be in this situation. I really don't, because it's
he's done this before.
What?
Dylan's transferred. Dylan.
Yeah, but
Dylan,
yeah, no.
Dylan has been in the quarterback
No,
room.
he has.
Right? And then he looked at the competition. Ultimately, we have to remember to allow the playing and the plays to happen.
Deshaun Watson is out for the season, correct?
Right,
He's done.
If at some point they're going to play football and they'll be side by side and get reps, and at some point somebody will win the job, right?
Correct.
But Dylan has played in place. He's played in other places. He literally walked in an All-American room, right? We can say the same thing about Joe Burrow. We can say it about Cam Newton. We could, there's a ton of the quarterback room is never one. It's an elite position because one quarterback gets on the field at a time ever, right? So, okay, it's not like you're running back where you can have a committee of people. Nope, can't do it. Quarterbacks are unique, different level of IQ, different level of swagger, different level of confidence and cocky. And
he was drafted in the second round. Dylan went in the second round, right?
Third round.
Okay, third round. So he's not like, I get it now. It's
and
good luck to them all.
Drumstick says this. He says, "Well, is Baker Mayfield not existent?" But look what they did with Baker.
Yeah.
That's my point. The Browns, you had to do
Johnny Manziel.
Like it is a run. The list. If you ever just Google the list of Cleveland Browns drafted quarterbacks, and it is a train wreck.
Yeah, it is a train
wreck. It is
a train wreck. That's why I'm saying what I'm saying. I just wouldn't want to.
Tim Couch, Brandon Weeden, Deshaun Kaiser.
I wish him the best.
There's some dudes. There's some names. There's some names. Like Steve Taylor could walk in on any of these quarterback rooms and be QB1.
I think it's comical because you got Deshaun Watson just rolling around there making tons and tons of money. Because I've seen these personalities like work out on the field. Like I've seen it like where guys are just like. It's a distraction.
Who allows this to happen?
Exactly. No, it's not a recipe to be successful. You got a guy that's making $300 million who hasn't played, I don't know, a year's worth of football in the time that he's been there, and he's hurled to be a great player. He's had some off-field stuff, and he's in the locker room just sitting back, just watching this show, right?
He's had all the off-field stuff.
He's
had all. He's been more all the off-field stuff than their starting quarterback.
Yeah, and so then you have a young kid like you have a veteran quarterback in Flacco who's been there, who's done his thing. He's just.
Didn't you practice with Flacco?
Yeah, he's just
41.
Like we're y'all in the same quarterback room.
Now remember,
he's going to be there to help these guys.
Yeah.
He's going to be there to help these guys navigate the waters to deal with being a pro.
But,
you got Dylan, who's
like Steve Taylor and Joe Flacco in the same combine.
And then you're going to have a young kid who drives up in a Bugatti with all the chains in the world, with the history that he has, thinking he should have been the number one pick in the draft anyway. It's just going to be entertaining.
Well, remember Kenny Pickett, a first-round pick a few years ago?
Oh, yeah. I'm just saying, it's going to be
a lot going on.
Kenny Pickett at the
that's going to be a fun camp just to watch and see how it plays out. That's all I'm saying. And that's when I say it's not I just feel for those guys because then you got guys like, other guys that can just walk into that's number one draft pick. They're the guy. They're going to get 60 to 70% of the snaps. They know they're the future. That's a more way that I would want to go into a team, knowing you're going to be the guy, or knowing, hey, I'm going to have to wait a year or two and learn, but I know I'm the guy. I mean, you're not going to deal with all this other stuff.
Here's the part that we buried the lead. That for all of the conversation about Shedeur and other quarterbacks, that Cam Ward was made the number one pick by the New York Football Giants, whose recent history says we are terrible at identifying who the number one quarterback taken should be. You chose Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
You said that the NFL MVP was less valuable than Daniel Jones. And we let the New York Giants off the hook by talking about Shedeur. That conversation should be, oh my goodness, do we send flowers to Cam Ward?
Well, Cam Ward's with the Titans. Remember,
but if you're the Giants and you had an opportunity, remember, you had an opportunity to do this. The Titans have their own quarterback issues. They have their own quarterback history issue, right? You got it right with Vince Young, and you ran him into the ground. Marcus Mariota, would you make that pick again?
Don't think so.
right? You go through and you go, listen, all the people ahead of the Cleveland Browns were ahead of them for a reason. They're really bad at assessing talent and developing talent. To me, Cleveland has its own issues. Saints, Raiders, Titans, Giants, they should still be on the clock.
They should, yeah. That's true.
Well, thanks for keeping my Cardinals out of that. Let's not include them.
Buck, I did not want to throw a haymaker at you because nobody has quarterback draft issue like the Arizona Cardinals. Bruh, you got to go back to
well, Murray's doing okay.
Kyler Murray's doing all right.
Neil Lomax?
I know.
Is that what we're doing? Like
There's just certain teams, like even when we're talking about Cleveland, it's like I'm 34 years old. I've never seen them win. I'd love to see, because Ohio, it's a crazed football state. I'd love to see them on top of the game, see what that franchise could look like as a competitor. But it's just there's been like maybe one or two times they've made the playoffs since returning in 2000.
Out of curiosity, which professional football team would you equate to being like Nebraska Huskers?
Well, they were the Washington Commanders until last year.
Nebraska
and Washington.
I like that.
Pyramided because they had the epic 70s, 80s, and 90s run where they were in the argument of being the program of those decades.
Yes.
And then the legendary coach steps down. Chaos ensues. You can't find a quarterback. You can't find you're having issue. You went from this offensive line legacy. The two greatest offensive line groups set the Hogs and the Pipeline. Put them together. Great running games. Talking about the Riggins crew and Larry Brown, the MVP, and all of that, plus the Rozier, right? All the things they tie over. And then, boy, right? They were on the same parallel, same scope. I jokingly said last year that the Commanders making the playoffs and Nebraska making a bowl game.
I love it.
Made like it was the perfect thing. So
great analogy because we got Dylan, we got the quarterback now.
Dylan.
Oh,
what's Daniel?
Daniels,
yeah.
I'm just.
I'm liking it.
That's why I'm gonna say they were tied together.
I like that. I like that.
All right, we need to get a break. We've got one more segment coming up of Weekly Wrap Sessions with All-American quarterback Steve Taylor here on a Tuesday, coming next on 93.7 The Ticket.
Get ready for the largest dirt late model event in Nebraska, race fans. The Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series is heading to Eagle Raceway's High Bank Heist on Thursday, May 15th through Saturday, May 17th. See the greatest dirt late model stars in the country compete for $10,000 to win on both Thursday and Friday, and an enormous $50,000 to win 75-lap main event on Saturday. The High Bank Heist, May 15th through May 17th at Eagle Raceway. For more info, visit eagleraceway.com. Let's go Lucas Oil Late Model Racing. Eagle Raceway, just 10 miles east of Lincoln on O Street.
At Planet Fitness, we're declaring it. This is the year of getting stronger, and you can get started now by saving when you join today. We have all the best-in-class equipment you could ever need, and you can work out your way on your time at any convenient location near you. Most open 24 hours. So let's do this. Join Planet Fitness today and save. Just $1 down, $15 a month.
Find your nearest club and join today. Deal ends Friday, May 16th.
See Home Club for details.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills Global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Make plans to join 93.7 The Ticket and the Amon Green Foundation for the first annual Nebraska Esports Golf Tournament on Monday, June 9th at Wilderness Ridge. It's a 4-man scramble starting at 11 a.m. that will feature former Husker greats, including Amon Green, Johnny Rogers, Niles Paul, Tony Davis, Adam Carricker, Rashawn Jackson, and more, with great prizes and great golf. Sponsorships are also available. Email jake@theticketfm.com for more questions or sign your team up online at theticketfm.com. Early bird registration goes through April 20th and overall registration goes through May 30th.
The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeyman electricians from $32.50 to $42.50 per hour with paid benefits. And if you're looking for a new career, they're hiring apprentices at $19.50 per hour with paid benefits. Call the office at 402-423-4497 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
John Henry's has a brand new membership club to protect your entire home in one program. With a VIP and a deluxe option, we will help you find the plan that best fits your needs. Receive discounts on services and equipment, priority service, complimentary inspections, and so much more. Protect your home's plumbing, heating, cooling, and electrical systems all in one membership. Call John Henry's to learn more.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
And electrical.
If you're a veteran, our nation has created a wide range of benefits to thank you for your service. But it can be difficult to navigate the process of determining eligibility, filing claims, appealing decisions, and securing the benefits you've earned. Speak to your county veteran service officer or the Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs State Service Office to see what's available to you and your family. These services are 100% free. So visit veterans.nebraska.gov today. Sponsored by the Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Are you a fan of local wine, craft beer, cider, or spirits? Don't miss SIP Nebraska's 12th anniversary celebration May 9th and 10th at Mahoney State Park and join others who share your passion for great drinks. Enjoy unlimited tastings, live music, delicious food, artisans, and lawn games as you celebrate Nebraska's vibrant beverage industry. And when you find one you love, you can buy a bottle to take home. Choose your ticket package at sipnebraska.com. The SIP Nebraska Spring Festival, a Blur event, May 9th and 10th at Mahoney State Park in Ashland.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and they're having the biggest hail sale they've ever had. A huge opportunity is at your front door right now. Some of these cars we're fixing, some we're not, and some it's totally up to you. New Sierra starting at $15,000 off list. New Canyons at $8,500 off list. New body styles on the Acadias, $3,000 off list. You need to hurry as there's going to be a lot of people heading to Louisville. Check us out at koppelcars.com. Stock numbers G121492, G187747, and G196599.
This is it, Husker fans, your final chance to see Nebraska baseball at home this season. It starts Tuesday, May 6th with a huge rivalry matchup against Creighton. Then it's a Big Ten showdown as the Huskers host Michigan May 9th through 11th. Every game matters and your support can make the difference. Great seats are still available, but they're going fast. Get your tickets today at huskers.com/tickets or by calling 1-800-8-BIG-RED.
Now back to weekly rap sessions with All-American quarterback Steve Taylor on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We are back with weekly rap sessions with All-American quarterback Steve Taylor. I'm Jake Bachman, DP, in the room as well. It's time to get Steve's thoughts on something that transpired this week. In fact, just yesterday was interesting. Michigan's coach Sharon Moore, they're self-imposing a 2-game ban for the head coach of the Wolverines. But they don't want to do it. I mean, it is a punishment, but they don't want to do it in a way that punishes him too bad. So they don't want him to be punished by not being able to play against his old team, Oklahoma, that he played his college ball at. So he's going to sit out game 3 and game 4. Game 4 for them would be the Nebraska game, which will be here at Memorial Stadium.
Wow.
So a big news for Nebraska schedule lookers, because that could be considered maybe the second, third toughest game on the schedule for Nebraska.
That's just going to give them more motivation now.
Who's that, Nebraska or Michigan?
Michigan. More of a point to prove. Where's the truth and honor, man? Now, the NC2A used to have some teeth.
Oh no, they're dentured right
now.
now.
They have none now.
They are dentured right now.
This is ridiculous.
Well, I mean, somebody said yesterday that isn't it disrespectful to Nebraska? Right, to be chosen.
Yeah.
Like Steve, I put it in the category of I always paid attention to homecoming as a high school coach and as a college coach. Who you book for homecoming? Because that's the ultimate slap in the face. Because you're not inviting anybody for homecoming that you think you can't beat. Right?
Well,
in high school, in
high school, but college, I think I don't know. Well, the schedules used to be set out a lot further.
Are you trying to win homecoming?
Oh, yeah.
You're not trying to have your biggest check writers in the building when you get your head kicked in. When you get your head kicked in, you trying to win.
No, when we played Oklahoma State against my homecoming, my senior year.
Well, you didn't have a choice.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I think now they schedule games that they're heavily favored. I get it. I mean, we had Barry Sanders and the triplets at our homecoming.
Bach, it was the thing.
But yeah.
I would circle. If somebody said, I would rather play Steve Taylor than Bach.
So Nebraska should. so if you're the Huskers, will that motivate you? I mean, you have to go out there and.
Do you have it in you to be mad?
Who, Nebraska?
Uh-huh.
You're talking to a different mindset,
right?
You're talking to a different mindset because, like, I don't care who rolled up in here when they came up in here. We're gonna do what we got to do. But but now these kids, they should take it as an insult. They should.
Bach. Steve Taylor.
Maybe Coach Rule will spin it that way.
Steve Taylor is coming out of basketball retirement. His thing is he gets to choose who he makes his basketball one-on-one comeback against. And he looks at his schedule, and on the schedule is Austin Orman, Eric Strickland, and Jake Bakovic. And if Steve Taylor said, I'm going to go ahead and play Bach.
I'm gonna throw up 40.
Bach, how would you take that?
Well, ready for the challenge.
Is that gonna motivate you, Bach? Are you gonna D me up? Right. Are you gonna say I'm gonna show this dude?
Yeah,
I'm not. Like, aren't you looking at Strick and Austin going, "Hey, bro," and then you look right at Steve.
Well, you shouldn't pick Strick. That guy played in the NBA.
Well, this is right. That Michigan could choose for him to take off against Oklahoma, which would be Strick. And he was like, I ain't playing Strick, but I sure don't mind playing Bach.
So the goalpost coming down when we take down Michigan?
I wouldn't go that far. Because that's what makes it all interesting. Michigan there's a lot of change there at the university. Now they had a lot more change the previous year, but you're losing your front line, you're losing your running backs. They got a new freshman quarterback coming in for a team that didn't pass a whole lot last year. It's tough to tell how good Michigan's going to be this year.
It's tough to tell how good the Huskers are going to be.
Absolutely, yeah.
I mean, I was listening to you guys the other day on the show, and I was like, my wife, I was just laughing. It's like, well, if we do this, if that, I feel this way, I feel that way. All the speculative, which is fine. So I'm going to let those guys speculate. I do enough speculative building, right? So I just want to house to sell, right? I don't know. So I'm excited about the Huskers now. DP's got me fired up. We're going to have a Commanders type year. Rayola's going to kick butt. We're just going to look awesome. And we're going to win 10 games. And we're going to be in the hunt for the playoffs. I'm telling you, man, it's going to be awesome. My handicap's going to go back down to like a 2 or 3. Bach. I mean, it's going to be awesome, dude.
He's got a birthday coming. He's got a birthday coming.
So I'm so excited about this year, dude. I mean, Rayola's trimmed up. He's looking good.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. And I know the leap I made from my sophomore year to my junior year when I started the whole year. It's a huge leap, you know.
Yeah.
And we got Rule, we got Emmett, and we got Rayola down at the big event right the other night. So
yeah,
Rule must be feeling good about it. I mean,
this is the team he's been waiting for.
This is the team. This is it. And the stars are lining up. DP, get on board, buddy. Get ready. I don't know. What do you think, Bach? What's your take?
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see what happens here. But you're right. I mean, I think it's year 3. It's the jump year. We'll see what happens. There's a lot. We'll see. But we've got plenty of Kool-Aid. We got plenty of offseason to continue
Kool-Aid.
to drink in the Kool-Aid.
I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid. I'm just saying, like,
chugging Kool-Aid.
It has to happen
straight to the veins in an IV.
It's gonna be a Washington Commanders type of year, man.
Hey,
Come on.
We'd all take it.
It's 75 degrees today and no wind, Bach. I'm gonna go low today.
Well, thanks again, Steve, for stopping in. I know you got to run out and get to your golf session, but we do appreciate you jumping in on a Tuesday. Adam will be in on tomorrow on Wednesday if you're checking your schedule. DP, you're going to stay in the building for
happy
one-on-one
big
next.
41, Mr. Carragher.
There you
Happy
go.
birthday. Enjoy the movie.
Get ready for the largest dirt late model event in Nebraska, race fans. The Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series is heading to Eagle Raceway's High Bank Heist on Thursday, May 15th through Saturday, May 17th. See the greatest dirt late model stars in the country compete for $10,000 to win on both Thursday and Friday, and an enormous $50,000 to win 75 lap